Hi guys, I am doing a painting work on my wall here, and I'm using a sponge brush. It's about 9 inches, maybe they have a 7 inch or a 9 inch wide by 4 inches going up and down, and it kind of works like a roller. I would say what I like about this more is that the paint doesn't drip, and also you don't need like a tray like these trays. So I didn't put any paint in this tray, and I worked right out of the bucket. This is like a light brown paint. It's actually an exterior acrylic paint, and that's what I had available. And I'm in my basement. I just did this area here. It's a little small area. Did this light brown, and it kind of goes along the side of the staircase. So several benefits of using this: not wasting paint into a tray like that. Literally, I dip it and I'm ready to go. So I save that time. Also, this paint went on the brush pretty thick. There was no drippage. I do believe once I've used this sponge brush before and I've gotten drippings. Um, Another benefit is the edge of the brush gets really close to the edges. So I was able to get all the way to the edge without getting any paint along the other side of the wall, up along the top too. And on the bottom, not quite as much, just because that space is quite narrow. And then here you'll see there's a little bit of a margin because I don't want to get paint on the floor. But I'll just go get a thin brush that I get from the Dollar Tree, 3 brushes in a pack, and I'll paint the bottom part. One modification is, if you've seen any of my other videos, I was saying, hey, I have such a headache with people using my paintbrushes, so I just wrap them in a plastic bag. I'll use them for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Probably about after 3 weeks, the brush dries up too much, and I gotta throw it out. Well, it's great to wrap it in a plastic bag because you can throw it in the plastic bag, wrap it up at the top of it, and then use it the next day. Use it within the next 2 weeks, and you don't have to clean the brush out. You save that paint. You don't have to throw it out. I mean, you don't have to clean off that paint, and then there's wastage. But let's say it's been about 2 weeks. Now what I've been doing is cleaning the brushes. So this brush here had probably been like a month old, and the bristles on the edge, mainly the thing was I just put it under hot water and I would just clean the bristles. What I had done before is I would try to clean the bristle all the way up to here, and the bristles would start breaking off. So up here, it's a little bit too dry, and I find that really you're using this area from here where you'll see like the brown bristle going from here to here, and then you have the white bristles. So really, the paint usually sits in this area anyway. Same with this brush here. It sits in this area anyway. So I cleaned up, there you see 2 brushes here. This one here looks pretty nasty, but they could be used in broader areas. They could be used along edges of the walls near the ceiling, between the ceiling and the vertical wall, or between one wall and another wall when that joins and makes a corner. This could get those areas better. That's just an example, but in tight spots, I could use those brushes and they could be useful. I've got, I believe, 3 more brushes upstairs, 4 more brushes upstairs. I have 2 in bags and 2 more at another sink. So I've been able to basically clean out I've got 7 brushes right here. And this one here from Menards, and I believe you could get it at Home Depot as well. Make sure you clean it after you finish, or else it dries up and these bristles will probably break. But you could probably take it back. I'd taken this back to Menards before and said, hey, look, the brush hasn't been functioning or lasting as long as I expect. Now I'll give you an example. I have one of these smaller ones. There's this one right here, and it has a brush head like that, which goes at the top of this, and on the back you'll see it kind of just slips onto this backing here, like so. So you'll have a brush like this. Looks sort of like what you would use in the kitchen to clean dishes. Well, this set comes with 2 and it's only about $3. But you'll see that this is peeling back here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's peeling between the plastic and the sponge. And here's an example of one where it totally peeled off. These don't last very long, so just wanted to let you know. They're good to edge small areas, but you might go through a lot of them, and then there's wastage there. So overall, they've been useful, but I don't know, I guess I wouldn't really highly recommend those. I think these are good. They save a lot of time. They can get to edges, and they have one that looks more like a square, maybe 3 inches wide by 3 inches wide. That one I haven't used in a while, but I used to use that one a lot. And for cleanup, well, I guess I'm just gonna use this this right here and just put it in there and then clean it out. But I also did another area on the ground, on the floor, with the same color toward my entrance. So I just have this kind of soaking. Now I would recommend not leaving this in water because the bristles can really dry out. So I'm just using this as a cleaning process, and I wouldn't leave this overnight in the water. Especially, I've noticed that these brushes get really soggy and they go bad. These ones here, just standard bristles, they'll absorb a lot of water, they'll become spongy, and the brush will go pretty bad. So I guess just give me a minute to clean this really quick, and then I'll put this here on the edge and dry. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys one last thing real quick. I had applied the same light brown paint. I had applied it over on my rear porch entrance area right here. Let me see if I can get the right lighting area here for you. Okay, so a few things. I'm using these cones. I got these at the Dollar Tree. They're 2 cones for $1. And I put 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. And then I painted this area here, this light brown as well. And again, I can get one of those narrow Dollar Tree brushes. It's probably like a 1/2 inch wide, and then finish off a little bit more detail. So a few things I wanted to point out is pretty cool to use these cones if you've got traffic coming through. I would estimate drying time for paint is about 1 hour minimum. If it's like a rainy day and you're like, oh wow, there's rain. So we had painted last week, Saturday. Today's Monday, so we painted a couple days ago outside. And I think it's holding up. It was holding up against really light rain. Just kind of like, I don't know what you call it. There's different words for rain, right? When it's light, when it's really light. But it held up pretty well against the light rain. And so if it's gonna rain, let's say 3 hours afterwards, and it's a little bit heavier, but the rain's not hitting the, like let's say you paint the siding of your house and it's gonna have some light rains, I wouldn't worry too much if the rain isn't gonna be beating directly on the surface. But let's say you were gonna do the roof, I would definitely make sure that there's a full day or 2 of non-rain to do like a roof, asphalt roof coating, rubber roof coating, silicone roof coating. That stuff goes on almost like paint does, and what I do is I use a broom Dollar Tree, believe it or not, has a good broom. They're not as good, but for $1, you can't really beat that. You can get the head for $1. You can get the handle for $1. So $2 you got a broom, and then once the bristles go bad, I don't really clean those out just because it's so messy doing a roof, like a roof asphalt coating. So I just take the top and I might leave it up on the roof, or I could put it in a plastic bag. I leave it on the roof in case I go back up, but if you're not really planning to go back up, it would be good to just put it in a plastic bag and then put in the garbage, keep the broom handle, and then get a new broom head. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it on this topic for today. And until next time, let me know if you guys want or are interested in any particular topics. But my house is going to need more paint in the kitchen. I don't know if you see the corner right there, but I haven't really gotten paint, and it seems like it's staining through. I'm probably just gonna hit this room with white paint, and then if this continues to bleed through, I might have to get like a stain blocking primer. There's a Zinsser stain blocking primer that could be pretty good to make sure that the paint underneath doesn't bleed through anymore. And then I got the bottom half here with a white color, or sorry, a gray color. Seems to be working pretty well. All right, you guys have a good day.